Hello there, it's me again. I know it's been a while since I made one of this, but let's just say I was working on this one for a while. This is actually the first time I had to research on something before I shared about it. And I got this after I was listening to another person sharing, and they just um, broadly mentioned this topic, and I felt like it's something I wanted to hear for myself. So I learned a little bit more about it, and I thought it was really good, and I should want to share it with you. So down to it. This is about Miriam, the sister of Moses, and I wanted to share this a lot because Miriam was such a young girl, and she was when Moses was born, and the Bible says something like this. About this time, a man and woman from the tribe of Levi got married. The woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw that he was a special baby and kept him hidden for 3 months. But when she could no longer hide him, she got a basket made of papyrus reeds and waterproofed it with tar and pitch. She put the baby in the basket and laid it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile River. The baby's sister then stood at a distance, watching to see what will happen to him. Soon, Pharaoh's daughter came down to bathe in the river, and her attendants walked along the river bank. When the princess saw the basket among the reeds, she sent her maids to get it for her. When the princess opened it, she saw the baby. The little boy was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This must be one of the Hebrew children," she said. Then the baby's sister approached the princess. "Should I go and find one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" she asked. "Yes, do," the princess replied. So the girl went and called the baby's mother. "Take this baby and nurse him for me," the princess told the baby's mother. "I will pay you for your help." So the woman took the baby home and nursed him. Later, when the boy was older, his mother brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. The princess named him Moses, for she explained, "I lifted him out of the water." This is one of the most interesting stories in the Bible for me. It's a story of how a child was born. A child was born, and in him was destiny. But the circumstances of those times, even when this child was not old enough to do anything on its own, the circumstances were not good. This child could have died, but God had something else in mind, because God wanted this clearly to be a miracle for people to see. Now, think about Miriam. As I was doing my research, one of the things I learned was that Miriam was about 7 years older than Moses. Well, between 7 and 12. Actually, a lot of the manuscripts say between 7 and 12. Basically, she was really young. She was not even a teenager at this point. And think about it. Think about what Miriam feels like when her baby brother is born. And you know how all babies are cute, and how all the sisters are like, "Oh, we got a new brother." And then she realizes that, "Oh my goodness, we have to hide the baby. So I cannot talk about the baby whenever I want to. I cannot play the baby outside whenever I want to. The baby has to be hidden in the house." And then now, it's 3 months later, the baby is crying. We need to do something. And the mother says, "You know what, Miriam? We are going to put this baby in a basket, and we're going to line it with stuff that's going to make it float. And then we're going to put this baby in the river, okay?" And Miriam goes, "Okay, Mom." I don't know if she cried when she said that. I don't know if she was happy when she said it. I can just see her going, "Okay." And then, again, her mother says, "And now you're going to sit here and watch and wait." This girl is like 7 to 12 years old, and she has to sit there and wait and watch. Okay, think about all the terrible things that have happened to you. Think about all the problems that as a young lady, as a young woman, you have had to go through. So many bad things that have happened to you, so many situations that have been thrown your way, and many, many times you've had to sit there, watch and wait. And you are asking why. And you're complaining why. But you're complaining, and you're asking questions, and you're crying. It's not helping the situation. You have had to sit there, watch and wait. And then God suddenly hears your prayers. And Mirriam is sitting there, and she's like, well, what's gonna happen now? And then guess who walks there? Guess who walks the river at this moment when she's there? The princess. I can imagine, as a Jewish girl who is a slave, I might think that you don't just walk up to the princess and go, "Excuse me, princess, I have a solution for your problem." I don't think that's how you do it. I don't think that's how it's acceptable to do. And Mirriam goes to the princess, and she's like, yeah, I see that you've got a baby, eh? I would like I have a suggestion for you. Can I bring one of the Jewish women to nurse the baby for you? You're talking to the princess, Mirriam. You're a slave girl, Mirriam. This is a Jewish baby, and the princess knows this, Mirriam. And you're suggesting, Mirriam, that she, the princess, should let you, a Jewish slave girl, to bring her, a Jewish slave woman, to nurse the baby that she's just about to save. And guess what? The princess said yes. She said yes. She actually said yes. And I think this was really encouraging for me as a young person. Yeah, I know I look really old, but I am really young. All those times that I've thought, why? You know, there are moments when your parents couldn't help you. My parents couldn't help me sometimes, and they did everything, and they were like, you know what, girl, I'm sorry. We've done everything we can, and now all you have to do is sit there, watch, and wait. And I'm thinking, Mom, Dad, why don't you guys help me? Why don't you do something? You're my parents. You can do something about this. You can help me. And they're like, sorry, girl, we can only sit here, and then you can wait and watch. We are crossing our fingers for you. We are praying for you. We are hoping for the best for you. But girl, you gotta sit there and you gotta wait and watch. What was she waiting for? What did her mother tell her to wait for? Did she tell her to wait for the princess? I am sure she did not. Her mother said, I could do that again. Yeah, the baby sister then stood at a distance, watching to see what would happen to him. This 7 to 12-year-old girl has to sit there and wait. The brother I like, it's really cute. He was just born recently. I really have enjoyed playing with him in the dark, playing with him in the house where no one else would know about it. And now I have to sit and wait. Mirriam could have sat there and watched the baby float and just go down the Nile and never really see him again. And that is the memory that Mirriam would have had for her entire life. Forever, she would have remembered that, hey, you know what? I once had a brother and the Nile took him. He floated to God knows where, probably he's dead by now. But Mirriam sat there and waited and watched. And when she saw the princess, she did not just sit there and wait and say, what's the princess gonna do? Is she gonna touch the baby? Oh, I should go home and tell my mom, Mama, the princess took the baby. She was like, oh, no. Chance, run, get it. She goes and she's like, hey, princess, this is what's gonna happen. I have a solution. I have a suggestion for you. Would you like to hear it? The princess goes, yeah, sure, do talk, do tell. And she tells her all about it. And then Mirriam goes and calls her mother and says, Mama, can you imagine Miriam's face when she goes home and is like, Mom, the princess. I can imagine what I would say. I'd be like, Mom, princess, baby, Moses, saved. For whatever way, or in whatever way that Mirriam goes home and tells her mother about it, her mother comes back and says, I heard that you're looking for someone to nurse the baby. That would be me, I guess. But think about Mirriam in this situation. She could have said, that's my brother. Princess, you saved my brother. Thank you. I will do anything. Please save my brother. She didn't. She just took the grace that, you wouldn't even believe. But you know what I also found out? That Mirriam's name also means lady. I know. To be a lady, it's not just something you learn. It's not just something you acquire. It's not holding your knife properly and having the right handkerchiefs and having the right handbags and having the right shoes and clothes. To be a lady is something you're born as. I know people call you names because of how you dress. People call you names because of how you look like. People say stuff to you because of A, B, C, or D. But girl, if you were born a lady, you are a lady. Mirriam, 7 to 12 years old, her name actually also means lady. It also means prophetess, but it also means lady. And I'm thinking, we are striving to be ladies, and we're striving to be a lot of things. But some of these things are just ingrained in us. We just have to live as if we are. Because living as if we are, is there a friend of mine who says that someone with experience always beats someone with the knowledge? Yeah. And when he says this, I always believe him, and I'm thinking that's actually really true. If you have experience, you beat someone who just has the knowledge about it, because you know. Not only have you gone through it, but because by going through it, you know. But just knowing does not mean you completely understand it. You might have knowledge of it, but that doesn't mean you completely understand what it actually means in reality. Are you Mirriam? Are you really young? Are you really looking for support from your family? Is everyone telling you to sit and wait and watch?
I am telling you, Miriam sat and waited and watched. And when her time came, when the princess passed by, when the princess walked to the baby in the basket, Miriam did not beg and bow down and say, Princess, I will do anything for you. Miriam walks to her, and like a lady that she was born as, even being a slave, even being called a slave rather, she walks up to the prince and says, Prince, I have a solution for you. So I am telling you, Miriam, today, you might be young, you might be inexperienced, you might be called a slave, but girl, you're a lady and you know it. Walk as if you are, and when you see the solution to your problems, walk there and say, hey, I got this, and I think I have the answer you're looking for. I got it, and I think I know what you're looking for. What are you looking for? Is it this? Because I can offer that. It doesn't matter what you're offering. Offer it. Offer it. Even the Bible says, test and see. Taste and see. God says, test me and you will find out. He also says, taste me and you will find out. See? Every young woman, every young person, every young girl who's thinking that the world has let you down, that we are not supporting you enough, that we're just telling you to sit there and wait for your turn. Girl, sit there and wait for your turn. And when your turn comes, don't just walk like a slave. Stand and walk like a lady. Stand and walk like you are. I've already told you guys before that my name is Precious and I am honored and I am loved. And I don't walk around as if I am not either of those things. I walk around as if I am precious, I am honored, and I am loved. And a lady. I walk as if I'm a lady. Do you walk as if you're a lady? Do you walk as if you're precious? Do you walk as if you are that which God called you to be? Because you are. He is not disputing the fact. You are refusing it. Walk as if you are, live as if you are, and if you have a solution to any problem, don't even be scared because they call you a slave. Please do not worry that they call you a slave. Just because they call you a slave does not mean you're a slave. There's a lot of words that we call you, girl, that you're not. Walk as if you are, because when you walk as if you are, you become. It might be for 10 seconds that Mirriam, 7 to 12 years old Mirriam, acted as a lady and became a lady for that 5-10 minutes that she talked with the princess. But Mirriam spoke with the princess, a slave girl. Spoke with the princess, offered the princess help, saved her brother's life, got a job for her mother, because the Bible here says that her mother was paid for this. And later, her brother Moses, we still call him by this name Moses, which the princess called him, became the deliverer of Israel. So if Mirriam did not do what she did, I wonder what could have happened. If Mirriam did not step up as a lady and say, Princess, I have a solution, I wonder what would have become of the children of God. God would probably have found another way to do it, but God decided that in that little girl, I'm going to put lady in her. I'm going to put lady in her. I'm just going to walk as if she's a lady, but she has to stand up and walk. I've put it in her. It's inside, but she has to decide to stand up and walk. Decide to stand up and walk like a lady. Decide to walk around as a lady. Decide. Don't just... I listened to something really cool. It said something like this today. It was like, it doesn't matter how you start. What matters is how it ends. But actually, I got another revelation for that. Because it's not about how you start. It's rather about you starting. Are you starting? You see the princess over there. You have her solution. And her solution is also the solution to your problem, right? Start walking towards the princess. And when you start walking towards the princess, walk like a lady to the princess and tell her, Princess, I heard you have a problem. I can solve it for you. I can solve your problem. This is how you're going to be great. This is how you're going to be that which you want to be the most out of life. This is how you're going to be it. As always, send me your comments, send me your Facebook, send me all the whatever you have to tell me, just to tell me that, how this message comes across to you. But most importantly, Mirriam, young girl, slave, come out, stand up and walk like a lady. Go, go, go. It's just time to overtake. It's time to get what you want. The princess has a solution to your problems. Go get it. Go get her. Go talk to her. Go talk to the princess. Wait and watch for your turn, but when your turn comes, stand up and walk like a lady. I know I'm going to say this 1,000 times. I've already said it 10 times and 10 times over. Mirriam was 7 to 12 years old. She stood up and walked like a lady. She stood and talked to the princess and just God used her to do all these wonderful things. What's your excuse? See, girl, you got none. You've got no excuse. I'm waiting for you on the other side because I am standing up now walking like a lady. So God bless you and I'll see you again.
Goodbye.